Hi, everyone. It's Mitch from PickDogs.com, and we are here with your free live show. It is Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. I'll tell you what, there's so much going on in sports. It's that magical time here. I don't even know what day it is. And it's like we have that. It's just that great mixture. We have football every day of the week during this time of the year. We have 2 college football games tonight. We've got NBA basketball. We got NHL 11 games on the card. And then we have, college basketball starts tonight. So we've got all that going on. Just plenty of action. We're not going to keep the show going all day long, but we have a couple of guests here to help with that NHL schedule because it is a monster. We'll give everyone just a quick few seconds to join. Normally I give it about 5 minutes for everyone to join. Today we're going to get into it a little bit quicker. We have this new show time for those of you just figuring this out. 10 a.m. Eastern time on the weekdays, 11 a.m. on the weekends. And I got to say, this is the first time in about 11 years where I've hit this show where I've just woken up and I'm just exhausted. I did 42 videos yesterday, which is ridiculous. And I think I'm going to change the way that I do those. I think I'm going to do a slow release on these NFL and college football videos throughout the week, as opposed to... But I am going to cover just as many as I'm covering. I'm just going to release them slower as opposed to just dumping them all out there on Monday. But it's just I want to do the NBAs every day that I've been doing, and I want to do everything else. Good morning to everyone that's joining us. We got tons of action. Let's get right into it. Magic and Thunder 3.5. That game's in the premium area, so you can check it out there. Good morning to everyone. Of course, there's tons and tons of game. College basketball is back. I don't think it went anywhere, but it's here. I know that our guys have worked really, really hard on it. I even wrote up a few games. I did 3. I'm like patting myself on the back that I wrote 3 articles. I used to write about 30 a day, and the guys will attest to that. But I probably will be writing a little bit more. We'll have to see. But I did 3 games on the site, including the first game of the season, which is on ESPN Plus, Baylor versus Central Arkansas. I know that you guys are sitting on the edge of your seat for that 25-point spread. Pretty good Baylor team this year. It happens, man. I put this game as a lean in the premium area. I just think you have Coach K 2.5 points. I'll take them. This is one thing that we've seen from Duke in recent years is that I don't really love any college basketball tonight, so that's why I'm giving it out, even though it's in the premium too. And is that he's gotten better recruits in this last couple of years than he's ever gotten before. So Kansas had an offseason of turmoil. So it's 5 a.m. here. But it's just my normal time when I do the show. But it's like because the lines come out later and because I'm doing more videos, it's a little tougher. Morning. I did a free pick on this one on the site, but I believe I gave out Baylor in that pick. Baylor has a lot of returning guys. One of their best players was thrown off the team, and. He left the team. He was suspended. He left the team, one of that. But they had so many good players this year. It would have been hard Drew was like trying to figure out who was going to get what kind of time. That's what kind of team he has. And that's with Makai Mason graduating, right? And then he also had, other superstar returning players. He still couldn't do it. I did this game in the premium area too. So that's those. I did 2 NBA games in the premium, and those are the 2 that you guys asked about. Ball State plus 6.5 against Western Michigan. I think this is going to be a better game than people think. I'm going to take Ball State. I didn't give out a premium on that one because I just think I thought of the 2 college football games, that's the tough one. Ball State is a lot better team than people give them credit for. Both these teams can score in bunches, and both these teams, they love to beat up on the lousy teams. Louisville minus 6.5 against Miami. I like Miami in this one. Total homer pick. It's early in the season, and I'll tell you, the Canes they just never get any credit, right? It's like they've been good for a long time now, you know. They've been good for 5-6 years, and they've been knocking off the Louisvilles and Dukes and North Carolinas for 5-6 years now. And kind of like, so that's where the value is. I'll take the under in the Heat Nuggets. I just think that when you have good teams, especially it's early in the NBA season, it's still early, right? Everyone's played less than 10 games. Under in the Heat Nuggets. When you have two good teams, generally, it's an under. When you have two bad teams, generally it's an over. A good team against a bad team, those are the tough ones. This game was 6.5. I don't let me just check. When I went to bed, it was 6.5 when I did my video on this. Of course, I got a video on this on YouTube, so you can check it out. We got a lot of NHL today, so we're going to bring in some guests in just a second. I see it at 7. I like the Lakers -7. I think that this is I think this is one of those. It feels like the trap, though, doesn't it? It really does. Spurs and Hawks over under 218. Kind of like the Hawks. They just don't play defense. Spurs. I like under 218. This is a lean at best. I should have done the penny. Did this one. So, okay. I think I'm all caught up with your picks. No YouTube notifications. Blazers dropped the ball last night. Yep. I think what happened is we all got a little carried away, and I didn't bet the game because I started reading in the Facebook group, which this is part of the reason I do the Facebook group, and I'm in there too. Is, you know, I didn't have the Blazers as a premium pick or anything, and you know, when I start hearing people say locks, easy money, stuff like that, I run the other way, and I run. And I heard I read those words about 10 times in our Facebook group. I was like, no way. I said, thanks for jinxing us. I wrote that on there. It's like, so I think when you have that much of the public on one side, it's just death. That guy in the Facebook group completely jinxed the damn Portland game. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. And when you start saying easy money, I gave this one out as my premium of the 2 college football. Yeah, and another guy said lock in the Facebook group. It was a real shit show. We did this game already. All right, we got 11 NHL games on the card, so you guys can continue asking these, but I'm going to bring in, we got 2 experts today from our Facebook group. We have Rod, who it's his first ever appearance on video, so if he's nervous, you guys really know how to stick it to people. So I'll leave that to you. And then as far as the other guy, that's Chris. Chris in his debut went, I think, 0 for 6 or something, and then he came back, and you know, he's been pretty good since then. But I like the over in the Utah-Nevada game. Yeah, but yeah. Oh yeah, when all the money bags and locks came in on that Blazers game, I knew it was death. But anyways, I'm gonna bring in Chris and Rod, and Rod's first time ever on video, so take it for what it's worth. And Chris, you know, his first time. I lost my first video pick. Chris went 0-6 in his first day doing video, and you know, so Rod has been really good in our Facebook group. He's done extremely well. Mission App State plus 17.5. I looked at this game. So you have a new coach for Michigan State, or for Michigan, right? New coach, which, you know, kind of changes things up. App State is not that good. Michigan's loaded. This is a ton of points. I'll take Michigan. I'm not betting this thing. I'm to be honest, I'm only betting one college basketball game tonight. I'm only betting one game. I only see one that I have to bet. And I might bet the dog of the day also. All right. Without further ado, we're going to bring in Chris. And then we got Rod with us. Rod, welcome to Pick Dogs.
Good morning, everybody.
And we got Chris, of course. Chris, 11 NHL games today, guys. Little tight quarters in here. I'll probably cut out while you guys are talking about the games. But start with Chris. Chris, who's going to be your what are you looking at in tonight's NHL action? We're about let me see. Let's start looking at this. We're about in that 15 game range for teams. So we're starting to see who's who. No more excuses. No more, any of that stuff. Chris, where are we in the NHL season?
I mean, the East is shaping up to be pretty tight. I mean, you got a couple of the best teams in the league right now, Washington and Boston at the top of the ranks. It's going to be interesting for me to see if some perennial playoff teams out west are going to be able to turn things around. Guys, teams like like Winnipeg, San Jose. I want to see how Colorado rebounds after the injuries to Mikko Rantanen and Gabriel Landeskog. I want to see if they're going to be able to turn things around. It's still early though.
And Rod, as far as do you see any St. Louis Blues teams lurking that may be off to a little bit of a slow start that can maybe come on here and maybe like we start catching them at maybe in the plus 170 range, like where I like to see them, and then we see them in the plus 170 range now, and then later on, we're going to have to lay minus 180. Kind of, I call this the Tim Lincecum type thing, where Lincecum early in his career, we're getting him at like plus 190, and then all of a sudden it's like minus 210. But anyways, you see anybody like that out there so far?
Well, for me, I'm looking. The Coyotes are a real underdog. They're pretty under the radar here so far this year, as they went into Edmonton last night and beat them in overtime. They head into Calgary tonight, and I think they're going to do it again.
Okay, guys, let's get.
I would totally take the Coyotes tonight against Calgary.
Yeah, so the Coyotes 9-4-1, yet plus 135 on the board tonight. It starts to look, when you start to see what teams with winning records, they start to look like sucker bets. Just like I'm going to bring you guys on. I'm going to bring you both on now. I'm in the middle here. It's kind of like I feel like I'm on an airline seat. I got two big guys on the outside. I'm the little guy in the middle. They always think that because I only take up a little bit of my seat that they get half of mine, and I'd be the dead man here. But anyways, like I look at this game right, and I'm just looking at the board in front of me, and I see Colorado plus $1.25 against Dallas. Dallas is 7-8-0-1. Colorado's 8-4-2. I don't know. Is it this easy? Chris?
I mean, if you told me a couple of weeks ago this was going to be the line, I would have jumped on Colorado. I would have been on Colorado like white on rice. But, I mean, we're starting to see, like I said, what losing guys like Gabe Landeskog and Mikko Rantanen can do. Dallas is starting to play better hockey. I like Dallas minus 145. And for me, I like Dallas, but I'll take Dallas on the puck line at plus 180. I think they can easily beat Colorado by 2 goals.
All right, so you guys both like Dallas here, and Rod on the puck line. Of course, Dallas 3-5 on the puck line at home. Meanwhile, Colorado 5-2 on the puck line on the road. I don't care what you guys say. I'm taking Colorado. I just like the money. I know nothing about hockey, but I see plus 125 at 8-4-2. That's all I see, right? I just can't get past it because it's all I know. How about two teams that hate each other's guts? When I lived in Boston, this was always one of my very favorite things. One of my favorite things that ever happened in Boston. When I lived there, we had a gigantic snowstorm, like gigantic, like shut down the city snowstorm. But that doesn't cancel the Bruins-Canadiens game, right? No way, right? So I go to the old Boston Garden, the old one, right, with the seats that are straight up like this. I go down there. Someone gives me a ticket at the door. I mean, there's nobody in the stadium. There's like 400 people there. And I got to watch the Bruins and Canadiens in a real intimate setting. I mean, I think the beer vendors just drank all their beer that night, and I think they gave me the other half because it was just an empty stadium. But these two teams, it's a pick'em game. Bruins started off here as a favorite. Is it like every other sport where basically the record book goes out the window because these two teams, they really hate each other's guts. I mean, you can name the players. Like I don't even really follow hockey, but I can tell you the players that have made this series what it is. Terry O'Reilly and Claude Lemieux, right? And I mean, guys just hate each other's guts.
Yeah, I like. It may feel like a sucker bet here, being a pick'em, but I like Boston still. They've been the best team in the league so far. They've been playing like it, and they've carried that play out on the road. Boston's also won the last 5 meetings between the two in Montreal, so going on the road and playing the Canadiens in that environment doesn't really scare Boston.
Rod?
And for me, well, I think I'm going to take Montreal here at home.
Boston played last night against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh sure gave them a run for their money. And they had to work to earn that victory last night. So I think they might be a little tired legs here, and Montreal can pound it out of Boston and get a win tonight.
With an accent like that, I'm going to have to go for Rod's pick there with with the Canadians. Tell you what, you have an accent like that, it sure as hell sounds like you know what you're talking about when it comes to hockey, that's for sure. Anyways, he probably doesn't even know what I'm talking about, but the rest of the world sounds like Rod's watched a little bit of hockey in his day, which is exactly why he's here. We're kind of squished in here. I'll probably cut out and let these guys talk. What we'll do is I'll fire the question, and then I'll let these guys talk it out, and then I'll keep coming back. I don't know where I'm going to end up on the screen, which is going to make it pretty interesting. Let's just any questions from the crowd. Ducks Wild over under 5.5. Chris.
I think I like the under here. Anaheim's been playing strong defensive hockey, especially at home. Minnesota continues to struggle on the road, whether that means keeping the puck out of that. They just can't score. So I like the under here. I think it's going to be about 4-1 kind of game.
Rod, how about you?
I like the over here. I see a 4-2 game for the Ducks.
Okay, we got a little bit of difference here with the Ducks Wild game. And let's see. Bring Chris back in. Now, how about, let me just pick out a game. Chris, what's your game that you're really looking at tonight?
Actually, the game that I have is my best bet. It's probably going to be Anaheim minus 135. I'm going to put a little bit on Anaheim in regulation. I'm going to put a lot on Anaheim on the puck line as well. Plus 204. I just think this is another game. Minnesota on the road, just they can't buy a win. I think Anaheim plays tough defensively, and I just think they shut them down, and Anaheim covers this one easily.
Minnesota 1-8 on the road this season, and Anaheim 6-1-1 at home. Yet they're only minus 120 with the line dropping from minus 150. Any goalie changes or anything in there that might have happened?
Not that I've seen. I know Ryan Miller played the last game for the.
All right, 73% of the public on the Ducks here with a line that's dropped $30. Just saying. Rod?
No, I know, and I
put that inverse line movement now. Now I'm not liking the Ducks so much anymore.
I could talk anybody in and out of any pick. Believe me, I've talked people off winners. I've talked people off the ledge on losers before. So I'm just saying, I have a system. I look for certain things in lines. This is what I do for a living, and hockey's not my game. But to me, the Boston line looks funny. Something looks funny there. I think that this game, the $30 inverse line movement was 73% of the public on a team that's 6-1-1 at home, and all the money coming in on a team that's 1-8 on the road. So it looks almost like tennis, right? I don't know. Rod, who's your best bet
today?
Ben,
I think you got to go with the Wild tonight. Wild get the upset.
We got some questions here. Mike wants to know about the Hawks versus the Sharks. Oops.
Oh. I mean, I'm personally going to side with Chicago here. It's just fading a team. I'm not laying 160 with a team that's lost 6 in a row, even if San Jose's at home. Chicago showed they're still capable of going on the road and competing. They just beat Anaheim, who, like we said, has been very good defensively. I like Chicago plus 135.
Rod, how about you?
It's definitely not one of the greater games on the board here tonight, but just like Chris says, there's no way you can lay minus 160 with this Sharks team this year. They just haven't shown anything. So you'd have to. I'd side with the Hawks as well here.
All right, I like the value. Now I see a game that I wouldn't touch unless I was on the dog. Got the Islanders, and showing them minus 260 here in the question, but I'm seeing them at minus 270, and I don't know. Is this kind of like Chris Sale type money? I mean, when it comes to the NHL, is minus 270 kind of is. What's as high as it goes? How high does it go? I see this one open at 285. I see the Leafs are minus 235 today, but I'm not seeing any like Houston Astro lines or Kershaw lines from back in the day, minus 400 type things. But
I saw that with Tampa Bay Ottawa earlier. I think it was minus 450.
And then how did that come out?
I don't remember. I didn't. I didn't go anywhere near that game, so I couldn't tell you.
All right. Well, what do you think of this one? Do you think there's any value on the dog or puck line or anything?
Ottawa beat New York last night, so they don't have to go too far on this quote unquote road trip. But Ottawa did play last night. New York's playing really well right now, especially at home. I personally bet the Islanders on the puck line just to try to get the line down a little bit.
How about you, Rod?
I would personally take the under in this game. And you have to put a little bit on Ottawa. Ottawa went into New York last night and they whooped the Rangers. They beat them, 6-2? It was a throttling. So you got to take a little bit on the Senators, but the bigger bet on this, you have to go with the under in this game. I don't see a whole pile of goals here tonight.
I think the Sharks are Red Sox this year. Fade City, that's the comment here. What do you guys think of that?
I would agree with that comment.
Yeah, I've definitely I've lost fading San Jose.
I think Tampa Bay got beat is what they're saying here at the -400 price. So, all right, we'll wrap up our NHL segment here. Chris, Anaheim is yours, and Rod, who's your best bet on the day?
My best bet of the day, I would take Vegas to win in regulation. But Vegas on the three-way plus 105.
Okay, Vegas in regulation at plus 305. That's my type
plus
of price.
Plus 105.
Oh, 105. I thought it was plus 305. I already had my wallet out.
Yeah, the cash is fighting to get out of your wallet at that point.
Yeah. Oh, I just have money lying around on my desk. This is all ones. This is like my tip money for I have ones and fives, stacks of them on my desk. I tip all the people at the golf course every day, so I just have stacks of ones and fives all over the desk. Not like one of those guys saying, "Hit my parlay."
We can't do that if your coins will go flying everywhere.
Yeah, really. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I enjoyed it. I think we'll clean up the format a little bit. I think that we have a format here on Skype where we can do 4 like this. You see the double Mitch? I have 2 cameras, so like you see that? I think what we'll do is I'll figure out something to put in this bottom corner, in the bottom corner of the screen, and we'll do it that way next time out. I think this is a better format than the slicing us up into 3 pieces. I think it just looks a lot better. We'll figure it out. Always a work in progress. I appreciate you guys coming on the show today, though. Anything else you want to say? Any other games out there that you like? We got college football. We got it. This looks too funny, right? We got college football. I wonder if I could put. Oh man. Whoops. Messing with the camera here. Something I should have probably done before the show, right? Anyways, we've got college football. We've got NHL. We've got college basketball and NBA. You guys have any other picks that you really like out there?
I personally was with Rod on Arizona plus 135. I think their Coyotes keep getting no respect. Calgary's a good team at home, but Arizona's really stepped up their play defensively. I'm also going to put a small wager on a game that's really good to watch tonight. St. Louis at Vancouver. I'm going to put a little bit on Vancouver for minus 120.
Okay, and how about you, Rod?
For me here, I'm actually going to step away from hockey. I like the college basketball game tonight, Michigan State versus Kentucky, and I think the public's going to jump all over Michigan State, figuring that we're going to be in for a revenge spot. But I'll take Kentucky. I don't think we're going to see a revenge spot there tonight.
Yeah, I think coming into season number 1 is a little aggressive for Michigan State. I know Cassius Winston is a great player. He's awesome, right? I mean, when Tom Izzo has these guys like that, kind of like, I like Tom Izzo guys. I like Michigan State throughout the years. It's not like I'm not like a bandwagon Michigan State basketball fan. I'm nothing like that, and I'm not like all of a sudden, Miami's not my team. I'm a Michigan State guy. I'm wearing Spartan gear, right? It's like that ain't gonna happen. But I always liked Michigan State basketball because I'm not a big Tom Izzo fan, but I like the way his players play. I think they're always fundamentally sound, and I think that's how you build winning programs is your guys dribble well, pass well, and rebound well. They shoot generally good enough. But when he gets those guys that can really shoot, and where these guys where he usually, when his teams are really good, where they do is he usually has two guards that shoot 90% or better from the free throw line. And I think he might have that this year. But like you said, Kentucky is gone. They're so fast. I mean, so fast. I don't know if Michigan State can keep up with them. They can really, if they turn it into a track meet. I just don't see how the Spartans can possibly keep up with Kentucky. Chris, you did a lot of college basketball coming into today. You probably wrote up about 50 games. Who do you like on the college basketball board today?
Honestly, I'm like you. There's not a ton of games that I'm gonna play personally. I was gonna try playing a couple like the bigger lines. Like I think I had UNC Asheville against Tennessee plus 31. Yeah, I couldn't tell you off the top right now. I know there's a couple. I'd like Utah plus 5.5 against Nevada. Those are two games that I'm just going to sprinkle a little something on. It's hard to get. It's like you said. It's hard to get a gauge early on in the season.
So I did. Here's a disclaimer. Okay, I did 2 Dog of the Day videos last night. I shot 2 different videos. I never do that. Right? I never ever do it. And yesterday was the first time I've ever done it. And if you look right here is my camera, right? So if you click on this bottom one, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I did a second video and I didn't post. I stuck with the first one. Can you guys hear this? Chris, can you hear it?
I'm trying to.
Trying to.
All I heard was Nevada, and that's all I need to know.
I wanted to do a college basketball dog, but I just thought it was so hard because of the card.
Yeah.
There's really only one college basketball game that I love. I put it in the premium, and I also put my opinions on the Duke, Kansas, and Michigan State, Kentucky, and all that. I put that in the premium as well, along with, really, I only have one pick that I love. Yeah, the 3-man chat, I think, is something that we just need to work on. I think I like that 4 way of doing it, and I just need to find something. I think I can put an image in that bottom, and I might be able to put text where I could put things like the lines and all of that stuff. I'm going to work on it. It's always a work in progress. We just got the 3-man chat up this morning. We just got it to work. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to do it. I told Rod, I don't think I can do this. And then it was like, all right, I was able to do it. So thank you guys for joining me. And I'm going to bring home the show to end it. And but we'll have you guys back. I think when's our next big NHL card? I think it's Thursday, right? Friday? Thursday? We'll have you guys back on Thursday. Thursday's always good. We got NFL, we got college football. I'm sure there's college hoops. We check out the schedule. Randy posts the schedule for us for what we're going to cover at
11 games on Thursday again.
Let me see what Randy has to say about Thursday college basketball. Thursday, not a ton in college hoops, but Friday is really big. Saturday is starting to look like a real Saturday. Yeah, college basketball is here. I would say it's here. Looking at that schedule, but thanks again to you guys for joining me. I appreciate it, and I think, like anything, I think we had a couple bumps. I'm always honest, and we had a couple bumps here on the show, and I think that this format of slicing us up into 3 pieces isn't the best. I think that 4 thing, and I'll see if I can do it. And if anybody else knows how to do this stuff, let me know. if I can get that fourth one to be a slide where I type in the games we're talking about and the odds as we're going, I'll do it. Anyways, thank you guys, and I'll just see if we have any more questions to bring it home.
Thank you.
That was Rod Zawacki and Chris from pickdogs.com. Of course, Rod is one of our great cappers in our Facebook group. This guy picks a lot of winners, man. He's not just in our Facebook group, he's in a lot of Facebook groups, and he's known for picking a lot of winners. It's the first time ever doing video. Appreciate him coming on. I know I've done my first video before, and Chris has done his first video before, so we know how nerve-wracking that can be. You guys are pretty tough. I'll be honest. Maryland minus 25 versus Holy Cross. I would say Maryland in this one. Holy Cross is just kind of at a lower level. I think people forget usually just Maryland's one of those teams that generally can fly under the radar for a couple of games, but usually a very, very good team. I'll take Maryland minus the 25. My sheet is a mess today because of these guys we're on. They made a mess of my sheet. I don't even know what the hell they picked anymore, but we'll figure it out when we do the recap. But anyways, I'm going to wrap up the show. This is interesting. Like I said, different format, but we're going to try to split it 4 ways. And I know in that bottom corner that I'll be able to put an image down there, or we'll just get a fourth person. We'll get a fourth person. If you want to be the fourth person, raise your hand. Anyways, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to Rod and Chris once again. What's DOD, Mitch? I don't know. The DOD is on if it's dog of the day, it's on the website, pickdogs.com. I took Duke plus 2.5, Baylor minus 25, Ball State plus the points against Western Michigan, Miami plus 6.5 against Louisville. We got all kinds of sports going on. Under in the Heat Nuggets game, took the Lakers minus 7. Under in the Hawks Spurs, I took Michigan minus 17.5. Took Maryland minus 25. Chris really likes Anaheim, and Rod took the Ducks in over. Chris liked the under, and he liked Anaheim minus 135. They didn't agree on much. Boston and Montreal. Chris liked Boston. Rod liked Montreal, and I think I kind of scared them a little bit on the one game with the Ducks in that one. I do that to people. I make people question their picks. I mean, this is what I do. Chris's best bet was Anaheim minus the 135. They both thought there was value on Chicago at plus 140 out there, and there was value. And Rod really liked Vegas in regulation. I thought it was plus 305, but it was only plus 105. Spurs minus 4.5 at Atlanta. I'll take the Spurs in that one. I did a video pick on this game, so any games that I missed out here, I got a video out on them, and of course any college basketball or anything like that, we've got free picks on it every day at pickdogs.com. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. A little bit of a crazy show today. We'll figure this thing out, man. We always do. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe to our channel and sign up for notifications. If you don't get the YouTube notifications, follow us on Twitter. Those notifications always work. And, of course, on Facebook, in our Facebook page and group, and the Mitch Wilson page on Facebook. A lot of different ways to get notifications. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is my one day where I don't do an afternoon or evening show.